Welcome to Web Design Chapter 2, Part 2. In this Part 2, we are going to learn how to put in a comment, how to put in a block quote, a mark tag, bold, and italic. We are also going to learn how to do Google Fonts as long as my internet holds out. So the first thing we're going to do is do Flag E, and we're going to go and access our Chapter 2 folder. We're going to go into my first web page. We're going to right click on index and we're going to edit this with Notepad++. All right. Comments. Comments allow you to put little notes inside your web page without them actually being displayed on the computer. For this, we want to put in ownership of this, so we're going to put in a left bracket. I suggest that you have your Chapter 2 codes with you so you can follow along on the sheet so you can find them. There's an exclamation point, dash, dash, and usually you want to put your name in here. And then we're going to put Chapter 2, dash, dash, and a right angle so that we know that this is Chapter 2. And then we're going to go ahead and save that. And while you're typing that in, once you save it and you run this on the website, you're going to notice that there is nothing that really shows up because it's a comment. So let's go back to Notepad++. You can put comments in anywhere. For example, let's say you're getting close to the end of the hour, you're not done with designing your web page, and you're afraid you're not going to remember where you left off. You can always go down and find a section and then put in a comment that says, start here next class period with the paragraph tag, or putting in an image. So you can leave yourself little notes so that you know where to leave off. And those will not be displayed on the website. We can also go down and let's look at the first paragraph. Let's say we want this first paragraph to stand out from the rest of the paragraphs. So instead of using a paragraph tag, we are going to put in a block quote. So I put in my block quote instead of the paragraph tag, and then I have to go to the end and put in a block quote at the end. Now, what's important here is that you do not put a paragraph tag with a block quote. There are two major tags. They cannot go together because one will offset the other because they do different things. So we have our block quote in here. And again, I encourage you to work through this PowerPoint as I do. So we're going to save this and let's go run it so we can see what the difference is. If you notice now, my block quote is indented on both sides, 5 on this side, 5 over here. I can also go in there and say, okay, I really want the size of this to be a little bigger. So if I put my cursor after the word block quote and hit the space bar and type in style, then I can say font size, colon, and I can say, let's say we're going to make this 1.5, then my quotation mark. So I have my property and I have my value right here. So using the style tag gets us into inline CSS coding. So let's go ahead and save it and run it. And now it's not much bigger, is it? Let's try something bigger. Oh, I know what we forgot to put the EM in. I'm sorry, 1.5 EM. We need to add that EM. Sorry about that. And then we're going to run this, and now that should make a difference. So you notice now that it's bigger and it stands out a little bit more. All right. So we can also change the color of this. So at the end, we're going to put a semicolon. We're going to type in color colon. And then we need to go to our class website because we want to go get a color wheel. When you're putting in color, you always use hexadecimal numbers. You don't type in words like black or white or gray. We go get the hexadecimal. So we're going to look under General Computer Classes Web Design. And hopefully this will open up. If it doesn't, then I will just type in a code here. We're going to scroll down until we get to color codes. I normally use the W3 Schools colored code. I just like it, but there's a lot of different ones that you can use. It's just your preference. Okay, now that we're in here, if I click on a color, let's say I want to make this more of a green color, I'm going to click on green. And then on the right side, it's going to give me a lot of different shadings for green. The most important thing to remember is that if you have a light background, let's look at our website, we have kind of a semi-dark background. We need to get a very light color. So I'm going to have to come down here and look at a lighter color. And so I can either grab my color here, or I go underneath the picture and grab that color. And so I'm copy it, and then I'm going to go back to Notepad++, and I'm going to paste in that color. And then I want to end with a semicolon. Oops. And then let's go ahead and save it. Then when I run it, I have a little lighter color and it looks okay. I could have gone with a light blue as well. So, but that looks fine. It kind of stands out a little bit. So notice now this stands out from my other paragraphs, which is telling users that this paragraph probably is more important. And that's how you use a block quote. The next thing we want to look at is a mark tag. A mark tag allows you to highlight. So let's say you have a certain section or a certain phrase you want highlighted in your document. A mark tag can do that. So we're going to go and type in mark. And I'm going to go grab my text because I have that automatic. And I'm going to paste it in between there. And I'm going to save it. And I'm going to run it. And now notice that it is highlighted. So I have highlighted a section that I want to stand out on the page. Now the normal default for the mark tag is yellow. If you want to change it, I think you have to do background color. I'm trying to remember now. And then let's put in white. I'm not sure if it's a background color or if it's color. I think it's background color. No, I guess that wasn't it. So I'll have to check that out for you. Oh, wait, no, I spelled background wrong. There we go. That might help. Yep, there we go. So now you notice it's white. So you can choose whatever color you want. To change it, you just type in style equals background dash color, then put in the hexadecimal. Otherwise, if you leave it as mark, it will just default to yellow. Also, let's say we want in this first paragraph, let's say we want a paragraph to stand out, or let's say a couple words. So we're going to go down to our last line and we can put in a bold, right? I'm going to select this. I have my automatic on, so I'm going to have to cut it and then paste it in between. Then if I save it and go ahead and run it, you're going to notice this part now is bolded. I can also do an italic. If I'm going to put two of them together, let's say I want this bolded and italic, I'd put my opening I tag in. And then you reverse the order. When you close out. So I have BI here. Over here, I'm going to need IE for my closing. So you just do the reverse. You reverse the order when you close out. So now if I save that and run it and look at it, I now have it bolded and italic. So Now let's talk about actually getting our Google Fonts, and hopefully my internet is up and running. Don't want to go here. Oops, yeah. Here we go. So I'm going to exit out of some of these because I got a lot of pages open. That happens a lot in web design. Let's get rid of them. I don't need that. All right. So you can open up your Google Chrome. In Google Chrome, type in Google Fonts. Google Fonts. And then usually it's the first selection of that page when it opens. And maybe it's going to go here. Sorry about that. I waited till the last because I had worried about getting online. It looks like it's going to go. All right, when Google Fonts opens up, they provide you with a lot of different options for fonts. If you go to the right side where it says categories, we want, let's get sans serif first. We're going to deselect all of these. And then you notice that when we click on sans serif, they all lose their little feet. So let's look at the difference. We're going to click serif and turn off sans serif. And you notice that now a lot of these serifs have little feet that hang on their ends. These serif is used for headings in a website. So we're going to do our heading first. So I want you to just select serif, and I want you to scroll down to see what you can find as far as fonts go. I think I'm going to take the Playfair display. So to do that, I am going to click here. Let's get that out of there, out of the way. And I'm going to click on my plus sign. And then down here it's going to say family selected. So I'm going to select that. And then here is my embedded font, which I need. I need to take this link, so I'm going to select it. I'm going to keep it open because I have to come back here. So I'm going to go back to my website. And after my metadata tag, I'm going to, after my robot one, I'm going to put my cursor at the end, hit enter a couple times, and I'm going to paste. If I hit my save button and I go and run, you're going to see that nothing really happens to your website because we haven't identified in the body tag where we want that link to apply. We actually want it to apply to Hello World. So we're going to go back to our website. And down at the bottom where it says specify in CSS, we're going to select the text. We're going to copy it. We're going to go back to our website. And inside our H1 tag, we're going to place our cursor, hit the space bar once. And remember, since we're doing inline style, we have to type in the word style equals a quotation mark, and then we're going to paste in what we just copied and close out with a quotation mark. Now, this link that we put in here that links to the actual web page for fonts, we'll put in this particular font. So we're going to save it, and let's go ahead and run this. And now you're going to see that Hello World looks a little bit different. It's got its little feet. All right. All right. So then now we're going to go back to Google Fonts. We're going to exit out of that. And now we're going to get our Google font for the body. Usually the major part of your text will be sans serif. So we're going to click off serif and make sure sans serif is up. Sans serif allows for easy reading. Right now, because of my website, I can't drag down, but you should be able to drag down and find a lot of them. All right, so I'm going to exit out of that. All right, so I'm going to go here. Since I don't have a lot of choices because I can't really scroll down, I'm going to click on Roboto, and I'm going to select the cross, and I'm going to click on open up my box, and I'm going to copy the code, and we're going to go back. And then after that first link we put in for our heading, we're going to hit enter twice. We're going to paste that link in. All right. And then we're going to go back to our website. And we're going to go down and we're going to grab. Now, you notice that I have two font families here. Well, that's a problem. So what we have to do is we have to go up here where it says your selection. And we have to make sure we deselect Playfair Disable. So we're going to take that off. And then we're going to recopy that link. Let's go back to our website. Because notice it's got robotics and the Planfair. We don't want that. So that's important to watch. So now we just have Roboto. I'm going to go back to the website. I'm going to grab my link so I can specify it. And I'm going to specify it in my body tag. So I'm going to go up here in line 27, and after my page color, I'm going to type in font dash family colon. I'm going to paste. Oh, I don't need to do that. I forgot. It comes right with it. So we have font family Roboto, and we're going to pull that back up. And so we'll have a semicolon. And now this font family will apply to everything in the body tag except for the H1 tag. And that is because when we put a style tag inside a specific tag like the H1, it will override anything that's in the body tag. So let's go ahead and save that. Let's go run it. And now I have my Roboto here, and I have my Playfair here. So now I have just changed my font. If I want to change the size of my font for my entire page, I just go in and I type font dash size colon. We'll make this 1.2 EM and end with a semicolon. Then I'll save it and we'll run it. And now I have a little bit bigger all the way around. Here's my larger text, which I want people to see. And then here is my other text, which is a little bit smaller than what was here before. So if I do a comparison between the two, you can see that they are larger. So we have learned how to put in our comments. We have learned how to do block quote, mark, tag, bold, italic, and our Google fonts. So that's all we have for now. So go ahead and save, and you can exit out of this. And thank you for watching.